All right, want to talk to you for just a couple of minutes here on this crazy Wednesday afternoon, morning. It's actually still morning. Uh, Been on this job all morning long, basically just talking, but fixing to take off. Got to head to Atlanta. I am in Snellville, Georgia. I am on a job where we are going to be redoing the whole house and cleaning up the yard. But before we do that, I want you to see the wild edibles here on it in a yard here in Snellville, Georgia, the suburbs of Atlanta. I want you to look at the wild edibles in this yard now. Now, I want you to picture just for a minute of stuff hitting the fan. I want you to picture stuff hitting the fan and things being down for, let's say, 3-6 months. And then you picture what everybody's yard is going to look like during that time, how stuff is going to grow. Nothing works. You can't get gas. There's no electricity. So I want you to picture in your mind how everybody's yard will look. And it'll look basically like this. Of course, this house here has a lot of junk in the yard that we have to clean up. Get rid of the sheds and the carports and all the junk. But don't pay attention to that. Look at the wild edibles. They are everywhere. This will be your typical yard if you live in Georgia if stuff hit the fan. Your typical yard will actually have tons of wild edibles in it, weeds basically. So think about that when you're weeding your yard. You are weeding out food. Anyway, let's get started. And let me just say it right up front. I am not an expert, so consult with an expert before you go eating anything. All right, we got the narrow leaf plantain, which is down here. Hey, I can't go into detail on these. I got to get through this video so it's not too long. I have other videos that go into more detail, so you'll have to check those out if you want more info from me. We got wood sorrel throughout down here, and then we've got plantain seeds. These are the psyllium husk, and it's from the narrow leaf plantain. Those leaves can be cooked really good, and you can render them, use them as food. Now the narrow leaf is more medicinal. The broadleaf is more like food, but you cook the narrow leaf enough, and it'll turn it into basically just a food, and it'll take out those medicinal properties. Or you can eat the seeds, seed husk. Eat too many of those husks, though, you know what will happen. Grass seed, you can turn that into a wheat. Rabbit tobacco down there. Clover. This yard is full of wild edibles. Goldenrod, wild lettuce. This is what your typical yard is going to look like within 3 to 6 months. Roses. Pokeweed, perfect size. Pokeweed, got to cook it up. Spiderwort, I've got videos on that. Spiderwort's edible. That's a nice little chunk of food right there. You can eat all of that. Just cook it up. Flowers, stalk, leaves. That's all wild lettuce down through there. Mixed curly dock mixed in with it. Same here, curly dock all down through here. There's some honeysuckle down in there. Honeysuckle over there. That's all edible. All right, let's turn this way. All righty. There you go. There's some nice plantain right there. And see all the grass seed? Man, people just don't know that all the food in their yard, it is amazing. Now, this is the eastern red bud. This is in the pea family. And you can cook up or eat raw, but you probably need to cook them up, those seed pods right there. Leaves, same with the leaves. Cook them up and eat them. So look at all the food on that tree. Amazing. Amazing, the food in your yard, all that grass seed. all that grass seed. Look at that. Huh? Look at that grass seed. Huh? I scavenge junk before we start a job. I'll go through and scavenge anything I want. I got a van loaded with stuff right now. Just stuff. Okay, here we go. Broadleaf plantain right here. Eat it raw or cooked. This is good food right here. Blue violet. Blue violet. So good, that blue violet. So good, raw or cooked. All right, so we got wild grape vines growing all over the place here. Yummy, yummy, yummy. This is a Bradford pear. Bradford pear, of course, them little fruits that come on these. Calorie pear, Bradford pear, they produce these little fruits. And you can eat those fruits. You just need to spit out the seeds. Here's a small elm. You can strip that inner bark and eat that. We got curly dock all throughout in this backyard. You know, curly dock leaf. Leaf can be eaten raw. It's the same with the stalk. The root can be cooked up and eaten. And of course, it's in the buckwheat family, so you can do it like wheat. That is the seeds. Like wheat. Look at this mess. It all has to go. All has to go. Look at that. Blue violet, goldenrod, wild lettuce. Look at this. Yummy, yummy. Huh? Wild grapes. Wild lettuce. It just goes on and on. This is all curly dock. So look at all that wheat. Now these seeds will last up to 80 years or even longer. Wild lettuce. Pokeweed, that's too big to eat. You eat the smaller pokeweed. All edible. What you're looking at here, all of this is edible. All of it is edible. Wild lettuce. I call this the wild edible yard because that's exactly what it is. Now we have back here behind the shed, we've got spiderwort. Spiderwort. This stuff is throughout this yard. Good, all kinds of good stuff down through there. Yummy. Virginia creeper. It's very medicinal. It's toxic to eat like food, but it is medicinal. All right, so just the same old stuff. A big elm. Lots of wild grape. Everything you were looking at right here, like 90% is edible. This clover. Look at that. That right there might be a trumpet vine, which is toxic. All right, so these seeds are ready to be harvested right here. These are ready to harvest. And this is curly dock. Curly dock. Do those seeds like wheat. We got a mulberry, Persian silk. Cook these up like food, these leaves, or make a tea out of the leaves or the flowers, and it's a natural antidepressant. I'm probably overlooking tons of stuff. You can probably see it, but got your plantain, seeds, psyllium husk. Look at those wild grapes. Think about that. Okay, we're gonna pull it up. Mock or Indian strawberry right there, leaves or berries, all edible. Edible, yummy, yummy, curly dock. And it just goes on and on, non-stop. We got another mulberry. Of course, got a couple of pines. You know what you can do with a pine tree? The whole thing's edible. Got a maple here. Got a maple here. You know what you can do with a maple. We got a big mulberry over there. And just the same old down through here. Goldenrod, wild lettuce, curly dock, spiderwort, grass seed. Anyway, that's it. This is a yard. Now, this is what a yard would look like after a couple of months of a no grid, no power situation. This is what a yard would look like. Now, you know, with grass, the blades, you can eat them. Well, you can't swallow them, but you can chew them up, juice them up, suck the juice out of them, and spit them out. And you get chlorophyll and all kinds of good nutrients. There we go. That's about it. Anyway, hey, I'm not an expert, so make sure you consult one before you go putting stuff in your mouth, friend. Spiderwort. We'll see ya.